I know that's not a way to come on, but I'm still trying to get myself together. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Kendall Anise. Do me a favor and subscribe below. I just had to catch my breath. I ran over to get this charger, and I've been catching my breath all day. Well, I've been holding my breath and catching my breath since last week. Just making sure I put the comments, and anybody's putting a comment up, I'll be able to see. All right, so I've been catching my breath and holding my breath since last week. So for those that don't know, let me give some back history. I might have to give some back history. Well, put it this way. On my YouTube channel, I have a New Edition Central playlist that I started. On Facebook, I've had a New Edition fan club since Facebook started. I've gone to the Hollywood Walk of Fame to see New Edition get their Hollywood Walk of Fame star. I was flued out on my dime to go to Hollywood to see them get their Hollywood Walk of Fame star. I actually saw the New Edition story with some of the members of New Edition. They were in the theater, a special screening. I have gone to countless concerts, and I've had countless posters on my wall growing up. When I lived in Boston, I seen them before they were famous, when they were performing around the city. And I was so mad that I left right before they hit big with Candy Girl. So all of that, and I'm an NE for lifer. So I say all of that today. You can't see my necklace by Simone I. Smith, Dream. But dreams do come true at any age if you just believe. Isn't that like a little saying? If you just believe. All right. So I've been doing interviews for Sheen Magazine's Sheen Talk. If you don't know about Sheen Magazine, you better know they be having the latest and the greatest on the cover of Sheen Magazine. So 2 years ago, I was hired to do interviews, and they had an IG show called Sheen Talk, and of course on YouTube. And then their page got hacked, so they stopped doing them on Instagram. It was tons of interviews. That's where I was able to interview Nene from the Housewives of Atlanta and Cynthia Bailey from Housewives, and of course, legendary model. I got a chance to talk to Ivy Coco and Cheryl Lee Ralph on there, and so many other countless amazing people through the platform of Sheen Magazine's Sheen Talk. That opportunity to interview just beautiful souls. But one of my requirements or requests when I first started is anybody that has anything to do with New Edition, I'm your girl. I'm the one that wants to do it. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Ralph, Johnny, everybody that has anything to do with them, if it's New Edition related, I'm your girl. And they kept their word the minute Ronnie came up. And then I don't even know who did it, but someone said I was requested. Like, I don't know if his people knew. I don't know if upper management is Sheen. I don't know. But they said I was requested, and they went directly to me. Thank you, God. Thank you, Sheen. I appreciate that so much. And they said, would I be interested in interviewing the Devoes? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Devoes? Is that Ronnie and Shamari Devoe? Abso-freaking-lutely. Now, I got a couple of jobs. That's how they say it in Baltimore, jobs. And I'm, of course, life coach. Y'all already know that. Talk show host, all my little shows, all my big shows, everything. Y'all know I'm a writer. I got all this going on. I'm not going to give you my resume. I say that to specifically say I started even working for the school district, the school system as a teacher. So that's where I am during the day. And I was like, okay, I need to move this around, that around, because I was not going to say no. This is a year of yes. I'm not going to say no at all. Duh. So I made it work. So I rushed to film it. Yesterday is when we had it. They got the day a little confused, and they thought it was today. So I did all of this stuff to move the earth and shaking around to come so I can do the interview. And I'm sitting here like this yesterday. Then the time went past and it went past, and I was like, let me call the publicist. First, let me call the magazine. They gave me the publicist number, and they thought it was tomorrow, which was today. So I had all the anxiety. So I was like, all right, God said it. That's what it is. For whatever reason, that's the reason why. And the publicist was amazing, because of the faux pas. Oh, no, the faux pas is the stomach. The faux pas. Woo! The faux pas. She was like, let me give you an apology lunch. She cashed at me, which was classy and gracious. And I was like, that's cool. No problem. I understand. But the dopest reason was because they only can do it from a certain hour, certain time, because they got to pick their boys up. They're twins. They got to pick it up. They got to do the family thing. So, of course, I wasn't even mad. I was just like, okay, we're going to go through this again. So then I came today. I seen them people come up on that screen, Ronnie and Shamari looking like twins. And I was just like, wow, God, a dream comes true. Like I'm sitting there and they come on looking beautiful as ever, both of them. And I was like, let me just get it out the way. I'm an indie for lifer. People that know me would be like, how's she gonna act like she don't even, like, this ain't big? And I was just talking about it, almost 51 years old. Dreams do come true. I definitely wanted to sit down. I was like, I've been in you guys' presence and I've been around, but this is what I wanted. So let me tell you about that interview. It was amazing. I made a couple of mistakes. I'm human. I thought that for some reason, I was thinking that they were married for 17 years, but they were married 16 years. And I was trying to make it 17 years, but they've been together 21. So that was a mistake. And then they have Married for Life walk. And I said marriage for life. So it was a couple of little things like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the conversation that we had and focus on the good energy that they gave. Because, sometimes things can happen and you focus on the wrong thing. I'm like, dag, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And 17th is my birthday. That's what I really should have said. And 17 is like one of my favorite numbers. So that's probably why 17 was in my head. But you don't want to be on live interview making excuses on why you said what you said. So obviously, I let it go. And I wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting them off. I wanted to make sure I allowed them to speak, because it's a very fine line as a talk show host when you're doing interviews. And it's not as easy as just having a conversation with someone. And that's what people think. And I see the critiques and the criticism on different interviews when it comes to hosts. But it's a fine line, because you have to be able to let the interviewee speak. Duh, you're interviewing them, so you got to allow them to speak. But on the flip side of the coin, you have to be able to regulate the interview and make sure the guest doesn't go all the way off. You kind of got to reel them back and ask the questions that you need to ask. That's why they want to be interviewed. So it's really like, you don't want to cut them off, but you do have to cut them off, because you got to change gears and switch different things around. So it's not as easy as it might look for some people. And I like to have just organic conversations. And I've done tons of interviews, but this one was a little different, obviously. So I was like nerve-skited, and, all of that when it came to this interview. And it really superseded my expectations if I had them. I didn't really have expectations, but if I had expectations, it superseded them. We were talking about marriage, relationships, resolving issues and problems, allowing your kids to see love, mental health, being an example, being of service. We talked about God. We talked about secret shames and silencing the shames. We talked about their new shows coming up, their Married for Life walk, and why they decided to do that. And they're going to be on VH1's couples retreat. We talked about that. We talked about, I wanted to put in there, Ronnie, he's had a real estate company for 20 years. We talked about that. And my life coach was on because Ronnie revealed something that was never revealed before. So I kind of got an exclusive, but in the most beautiful way, because he said it, and I won't tell you what it is yet. He said it, and it was about Shamari, and she's not pregnant. He said it, and then he kind of looked. He was like, "Oh, this is the first time," and she kind of looked like, "Well, shoot, you done said it on live. Let's just get it out there." And I just really wanted to encourage her and make it clear that she was doing the right thing. Don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed, walk in that. You're already transparent doing that. And I was really kind of speaking life, into her and really affirming her, but I wasn't doing that on purpose, right? And Ronnie said to me, "You know her love language, because affirmation is one of her love languages." And she just was I loved them both in a different way. He was dope. She was dope. They were showing love to one another, hugging, and the love was shown. And it was just beautiful to see. And you can feel their spirit and their energy coming off of the Zoom screen. You really could. And they seem like beautiful, down to earth, cool people. You didn't see the girl that was in the group Black, or the man that's in BBD, New Edition, RBRM. You didn't see that. You saw two great people trying to do amazing things with a platform that God has given them. And it's called celebrity, because people listen to celebrities before they listen to quote unquote regular folks, whatever that means. And I thought that they, and I told them, like, you guys are a true example. And I was getting choked up, because that's how you're supposed to use your platform. That's how you're supposed to, if God puts eyes on you, you're supposed to do good with that. And I believe that they are. And I liked them, and it was a great conversation. That's really what it was. But as a talk show host, I'm going back like, oh my God, did I cut them off? Did I not let them talk? And I'm going through my head, and I just want to make sure I live in the moment and not focus on the things I didn't do right, but focus on the things that I've done right. And that's a word for somebody, because it's easy to tell somebody that, but you have to do that. Because I'm like, oh, I said that wrong. Oh, I said that wrong. Oh, let me make sure. But I'm like, wait a minute. It was a dope conversation. We really talked about real stuff. We didn't just talk about how was it like when you was on tour with MC Hammer. Not that they was on tour with MC Hammer, but how was it like when you were on tour with Keith Sweat or Bobby Brown or Al B. Shore? How was that? Like, I didn't talk about that. Or, and Ronnie even brought, and we talked about trauma. And Ronnie was even talking about, and this is exclusive, y'all. It's not even seen yet. It's not even airing yet. I don't even know when it's airing. I just have to send the interview to the magazine, do a write-up, and then they'll let me know where it will be. So we even talked about trauma, and Ronnie was talking about counseling and therapy and coaching. And he was saying that Shamari had trauma. Think about it. Left Eye, who started the group Black, and then the group member Natina, who passed away. So we were just talking about how we have trauma that we still have to heal from. And then we come into a relationship. We got that deep, y'all. It was good. Y'all know it's right up my alley, because I'm about healing. I'm about growth. I'm about addressing trauma, all of that. And we talked about that. Like, we went there. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But the icing on the cake is, Shamari was looking at the screen. She said, how do you say your name, Kendall? And Ronnie said, Kendall. He said my name. He said, Kendall. And I was like, okay. I was fangirling, but of course, in the most adult way. I wasn't going, but of course, I had to, and that's how, it ended. And they were just, like, he told her how to make sure they pronounce my name right. And he pronounced it right, although I pronounced some things wrong. But of course, Ronnie Devoe and Devoe twins and Shamari. So it was really a good experience. And then I got done and went back to work because it's real life, you know. And it's just like God has made room for my gifts. And I literally went back, put my shoes back on, and went out to work. Nobody knew that I just was sitting there, you know, for 30 minutes of the 40 minutes with Ronnie Devoe and Shamari Devoe. Nobody knew that. And then I just went on about my business. But it was a great opportunity. And shout out Chanel. She said on Facebook, I pray and I know that God is going to make it where you can interview all of them. Imagine if all of them were sitting here, or even I take them one by one. I take them one by one. But even if on a screen, virtual, one by one, I take them. I take the wives and I will take them all together, all 6. And my one girlfriend was like, do like you did when you hosted Bobby Brown's book signing. And I had to think about that. Like sometimes you do things that are so surreal that you forget about them. I don't know if y'all know that. I hosted Bobby Brown's book signing at Howard University's Barnes & Noble. Don't even think about it. Don't even talk about it. And that happened by, I was going to make up a word, God stance, not circumstance, God stance. That's my word. Y'all don't steal it. It's on tape. But God stance, meaning that I went to the book signing. Me and my girl was the first ones there, like hours before, because we wanted to make sure we got our book signed first, right? And as people started coming, it was empty. As people started coming in, you know, minute by minute, hour by hour, people started coming in to the point where it was filling up. So me being me, I didn't want people just be sitting there because it was no entertainment or anything like that. It's a bookstore. So you're just sitting there waiting for the book signing to start. And if you got there 2 hours early like us, you're just sitting there. So I just started going around, just asking people, when did you start falling in love with Bobby Brown? When did you like New Edition? What's your favorite Bobby Brown song? So I started just doing that with people, and people were sharing their stories with me. And I didn't have my camera out. It wasn't recorded. I just was doing that in there. So then it started filling up. And then Howard University's Barnes & Noble saw me doing it. So then they started getting me water. I was like, okay. And then they were like, well, Howard University TV started coming. And then they got me hosting it for free. They got free labor out of me that day, but it was a joy. I loved it. Just talking about them. So I started doing that. Next thing you know, I'm on Howard University's TV and I'm hosting Bobby Brown's book signing for Every Little Step that later turned into the Bobby Brown story on BET. So you never know how things are going. So just are going to be you. So you just got to be yourself, do what you do, and whatever God leads you to, just do it. And I was doing it for fun. It wasn't for a paycheck. It was just to entertain people. I'm so happy you got to experience this. I know there will be more. Oh, I received that, Jamie. I've heard that used. Okay, well, there you go. God stance. I ain't make it up. I must have heard it, but that's what I believe. I've never heard anybody say it, but thank you for that, because I don't want to I have my own copyright, so I don't want to steal anybody else. But God stance, I've never heard that, but that's what it is. So I'm sure whoever came up with that felt the same way, because I don't believe in happenstance, because I honestly believe that God puts you in positions and he prepares you because he knows what positions he's going to put you in and what rooms he's going to put you in, and the mighty men that'll be in the room where he puts you, and he prepares you. And I've had friends say, you've been preparing for this your whole life. And when I think about when I was in high school and journalism class, and we had to learn how to, in my journalism class in high school, this was before, you got to remember, this was in the 80s. So this was before TVs were in every room and you had a device in your hand and you had access to this or that. I'm talking about the 80s. It wasn't like it is now. So if you're young and you're watching, don't think like, oh yeah, well, everybody. No, it wasn't everybody. So we had a whole newsroom in our school We had to learn how to be the talent, meaning like what you see. We had to learn how to do the news, the weather. We had to know how to do the engineering. We had to know how to work the cameras. That's when they were the big old cameras. We had to know how to work the cameras. We had to know how to edit. We had to know how to put a show together, production. We had to learn everything. And it was me and another guy, the only two Black people in the class. And that's how I met Mushan Lee. Shout out Mushan Lee. He was on the Cosby Show as Slade. He was on the movie Lean on Me, where he said Potomac River Falls, the one that got Karen Molina White's character pregnant. He was on Martin before, and he was on a couple of commercials. That's where I met him when we were teenagers. He went to my sister's school, and there wasn't hardly no Black people in that program there, and us. And we met working the camera for the Jerry Lewis telethon. Now, you got to be a certain age to know that Jerry Lewis telethon was live from Atlantic City in the casinos, and it was us teenagers showing it to you. That's how it was getting out to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I can't wait either. So that's how it was brought to you. So I didn't even know then that I would be doing. And now, as a life coach and my degrees in human services and helping people and all of that. And how about God made it so where all my experiences collide to do what I'm doing now? Look at God. I didn't know when I was 16 or 17 that I would be doing this and helping people. I've been helping people and doing this kind of stuff even before high school. This has always been me. So how dope is it? And you can't see my dream. How dope is it that at almost 51 years old, God is making dreams come true? So a delay is not a denial. And sometimes you just don't know how life is going to be. You know, then I had jobs. I had a chunk of time where I had jobs in between. I was a young wife and a young mother. Didn't realize I was a young mother until now. I got married at 20, had my first daughter at 22, my second daughter like 28, 29. So that would be, I guess, considered a young mother and a young wife. So I was doing that. And, you know, being me in between, then I picked me back up once they got older. But everything that I've been through, all the journeys that I've taken and the jobs I've had and the careers I've had led me to this moment to be back doing what I love. And I've been doing, you know, check out my YouTube channel. I got a lot of content on there, a lot of great interviews and great shows and talking to great people and positive. I mean, it got everything on here. I have like a little channel, literally, like you can watch TV and see different things. And that's by the grace of God. And I definitely wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for God, for sure. And sometimes you got to go around the mulberry bush to get back to your dream and to do, you know, a lot of life under your belt. You got to experience different things because that makes you that person that can sit down and have a conversation or coach an individual or group because you got life experiences. Yes, I got degrees. Yes, I have certifications, but I got a life experiences, a lot. So that's what rounds you as a human being, as a person. So you can sit down in front of anybody and to be able to have a conversation, mistakes or not, you can have a real life conversation. And it was one today. So of course, this is not the end. It's not over, but this is part of the journey. And I'm like, wow, like when you say stuff out loud and God knows the desires of your heart, he knows, like for real, like it ain't fake. I don't think anybody thought that was fake, but God knows. And some stuff you say in your breath, under your breath, some stuff you say in prayer, and some stuff just stays in your mind, but God knows. So today I got to interview Ronnie Boy Devoe, okay, and Shamari Devoe. Now, y'all know when you do Zoom, everybody by now has done Zooms. So y'all know when you do Zooms and somebody takes the camera off, it's either the picture or your name. Why was Ronnie Boy Devoe's name right there on my computer? I was like, I'm on a Zoom and gave him my Zoom information. Dream. So this is LL Cool J's wife makes these. And this was one of the first batches years ago, but she has everything now. But how about that? So I've worn my dream necklace for 2 days. And I've had it for years. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes I don't, but I think I might wear it all week because dreams are coming true. So I just want to inspire everybody out there who's looking at this video or listening to the sound of my voice. Don't give up on your dreams. Continue to manifest your dreams by speaking it, by claiming it, by praying on it, and by doing your work. Because this is the thing. If your dream comes and you're not ready, then that might prolong that dream. So you got to be ready and prepare and do the work, put the work in, whatever that dream is. Because when it manifests, you got to be ready. Not perfect, but ready. I got my background. I have a lot of interviews under my belt. All of them are different, though. I got my lights. I got my camera. I got my action. And I was ready to go. So never say no. Always say yes. And then you can figure it out later. And some of you, if you got to fake it till you make it, then do that. If you got to go back to school, then do that. If you got to go to YouTube University and study, then do that. If you have to ask people that do what you do how to do it better, then do that. But don't give up and say, you know what? I ain't built for it. I ain't made for it. God ain't going to make it happen. He didn't make it happen then, so he's not going to make it now. The thing about God is he ain't on your schedule. God got his own schedule. But he has to see when he wants to do some things. And sometimes, because I'm going through a lot, y'all have no idea what I have been going through as of late. And I'm slowly coming out, but what I have been going through. So God always sprinkles a little sunshine there, like, boop, I'm still here. Let me show you like this. I'm still here. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to watch this video, and hopefully you all will watch the interview with Ronnie and Shamari Devoe. They were very delightful, and it was just a good conversation. I checked with the PR. I was like, is there anything that they don't want me to air? I want to be respectful of them. I'm not one of those people that's going to be salacious, like, ooh, she said something to me that she never said. Let me drop a sound bite. I deal in integrity and character, and I make sure that I'm respected in this business. I'm not going to be messy, and I'm not going to get a sound bite to say, ooh, they gave it to me first, breaking news. No, I'm not going to do that. And I checked with the publicist. I was like, is there anything in the interview that they don't want to be shown? Because if so, I will not. And they were like, nope, they're cool with everything. And I was like, good. That's integrity, and you have to have that. I'm not for trying to, throw somebody under the bus and just be salacious with the news that someone's giving me. I don't operate like that. But they said that it was good. So not good, but they were good with what it is. And hopefully you all will like it. Don't tear me up too much if I did something wrong. Just watch the video. It gets better. Greater later in the video. But I'll let you know when it's coming. I think it's going to be on Sheen Magazine's website or even their YouTube channel. So I'm not sure, but as soon as I get more information, I will give it to you. Thank you for taking the time to sit here and listen to me, all happy and excited over that. And I just got to shout y'all out, especially on Facebook. You guys have been so supportive and so excited for me to get this, because y'all know what this means to me. Y'all have been so supportive and so excited for me. And all of your words of positivity have been amazing. They didn't go unnoticed. If I didn't respond to everybody, they didn't go unnoticed. But y'all were really cheering for your girl. And I appreciate that so much. When I win, you win. When my dreams come true, it's a matter of time that your dreams are going to come true too. Like they said, if he's in a neighborhood, if he bless your neighbor, that means he's in the neighborhood, right? So I appreciate y'all so much. Don't forget to subscribe. I don't know who that is. Subscribe to my channel. I'm growing my channel. I'm trying to get to a minimum of 1,000 followers, because there are a lot of different things that I can do through YouTube, going straight through YouTube to do things. And then I can get sponsorships and ads, different things like that. But I need to have at least 1,000 followers or subscribers on here. But also comments helps and likes help and all of that. So if you're watching it live on Facebook, please go over to my YouTube channel and like it or leave a comment. I really, really appreciate that. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And I didn't try to sing. I didn't try, but I did. I'm lying. All right, y'all want another exclusive? I did start the interview with, if you're looking for a mellow fellow like Devoe, here he is. Now, all my New Edition and BBD fans know. So I did have to say that. He was like, yes. I was like, okay. It wasn't that corny. Because my daughters were like, Mom, don't do that. But I didn't. He was like, yeah. I said, okay. But that's all. Thank you so much for watching. This is Kendall Anise, the Remix Coach. Remember, you are a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. So this video is going to be on the playlist of New Edition Central, and it might be on other playlists. So sometimes if you look through the playlist to see what you want, it'll be under there. So ta-ta for now. God bless y'all. Peace.